Vegas. Man, International Fight Week, always the best time of the year for us. So media, I believe you have 3 microphones, so if you want to start lining up, the fan sections have one on each side of the arena. So if you have questions for any of our great athletes today, make sure you line up. I can't promise we'll get to them all, but we will do our very best. Just a reminder, please don't ask for tickets or autographs or pictures. Hopefully, the athletes will be able to hang out after this Q&A and maybe we'll be able to get, excuse me, some of that done for you. But you came here to hear from this amazing panel today. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce our first guest today because he is now officially a UFC Hall of Famer. He was inducted last night, the UFC's first ever lightweight champion, Pulver. Welcome, Little Evil. All right, well, someone he actually faced in the WC. He was the champion, the creator of Team Alpha Male. The California Kid is here. Please give it up for Urijah Faber. Sporting a tremendous beard, the former light heavyweight champion who is now killing it in the coaching game. I am sure we will see him inducted into this UFC Hall of Fame sooner rather than later. It's Glover Teixeira. All right, a mentor to Glover, a UFC Hall of Famer, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, one of the most recognizable faces in the sport, the Iceman, Liddell. And last but not least, the former welterweight champion and one of the most talented 170-pounders in the entire world, a future Hall of Famer for sure, the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. Guys, this is amazing. Thank you all for joining us today. It feels like, you know, every July we get together for International Fight Week, and there's just something special about it. Glover, I mean, when you have the opportunity to interact with fans like that and see great fights all in the same week, what's it like for you guys to participate?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, I'm blessed to be here. And I'll be here and, with all those guys over here, seeing Chuck. All the time I was on the other side, you know, seeing Chuck doing all the interview and be able to be here with him, it's incredible.
It really is. And last night we saw Pulver enter the UFC Hall of Fame. Jens, you gave an incredible speech. Long overdue, but it finally happened. Are you still on cloud 9?
Yeah, no, yeah. This is so cool. Like I said, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, this is surreal. I'm stuck. You know, you don't want it to end. You know it's going to, so I'm just trying to slow it down and embrace every single minute of it. But man, I love y'all. This is cool, real cool. So I appreciate y'all.
So happy to see you enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Reminder, if you guys have questions, media, there are 2 microphones here, one in the back as well. I think Jose Youngs, is that you waving at me that you have a mic? And then fans, if you want to start lining up to ask questions. If we have media questions, we can start over there. Go ahead.
Question for Kamaru, former champion in the back. Just quick update on your career. Like, where are you at? A lot of people thought you might fight Hamza in Abu Dhabi. Dana White didn't really seem interested in the catchweight. So just, is there an update on where you are in your career?
I'm good. I'm just training. Falling back into love with my routine of training. I mean, the last couple of years was just kind of chaotic, you know, here and there, but falling in love with that routine again. But just like you, I thought I was going to be fighting Hamza too. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Was there any reason why that fight didn't happen? Because it seems like it was only a matter of time before that was going to be announced.
I mean, there's a lot of logistical things, not necessarily on my end, of why it didn't happen. Like I said, I'm up here. You know, I'm looking good. Feeling good, I'm ready to fight.
And obviously, Dana has made it known that he wants Colby Covington to now fight Leon Edwards for the welterweight title. So I'm curious, what do you make of that fight and how do you think it plays out?
It's a good fight. I think both guys are very talented. Both guys present different challenges. So, you know, I've whipped both of them at least once or twice. So, you know, we'll see who wins that.
Question for Chuck Liddell and Glover Teixeira. I just want to know your thoughts on Alex moving up to light heavyweight. Obviously, he's going to fight later this month against Jan Blachowicz. So I'm curious, what do you think fans can expect to see from him at 205 pounds?
I prefer to Glover, but yeah, he's a big boy, man. That's a tough cut for him. I was shocked he made it. That man, he can cut. He can cut weight, man.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's going up because, you know, all the weight cut eventually gets to you, you know. And, you know, he's a pain in the ass, like the Sanya say, for anybody that fight that guy, you know. He hits like a truck, man. Especially now, 30 pounds heavier, it's going to be good.
Yeah, when I first met him, I'm like, this guy's a 185-pounder. He's a big boy.
When he would tell us how much weight he was cutting during our fighter meetings just 2 days before weigh-ins, it was incredible to see that he made weight every time. I mean, we would sometimes be like, how's he gonna do it? And he still did, so it'd be so interesting to see what he looks like moving up. Great question there. Do we have any more from the media? Yep, go ahead.
First one for Kamaru Usman, please. This week, John Jones and Israel Adesanya looked to squash their beef. I'm curious your thoughts on that and if you'd seen any of their posts online.
I think it's great. I mean, they're guys that I love. I love to watch them. I love to, you know, be around them. I've spent time with both. I've known both for an extended period of time. So that's good. I mean, that's just what this sport needs. I mean, don't get me wrong. When we step inside that octagon, our job is to put hands on each other, and it needs to stay there. You know, that's what defines us as competitors and real men. We get in there, we settle our beef inside that octagon, we walk out safe and sound. So I'm very, very happy to see that. I still love to see the fight, though.
It'd be nice.
And of course, Robbie Lawler will be fighting for the last time this weekend at UFC 290. I just wanted to ask everybody on the panel their thoughts on Robbie Lawler and his impact in the UFC and in the sport. But if I could start with Jens first.
Yeah, that's the Bob, man. I love him to death. I've known him since he was 17 years old, and it's just incredible, just his career. Yeah, I always laugh about this. He was my roommate, and he used to always wake me up in the middle of the night. We'd sit there and play the football seasons. We didn't play against each other because he'd destroy me, so we'd have to play our seasons, and we'd meet up in the Super Bowl or something. He'd wake me up in the middle of the night. It's your turn. I'm like, Bob, really? I'm trying to. It's your turn. I'm like, all right, so I had to go play my game so he can come back. And it was just a lot of fun to train with him day in and day out. We were big fans of boxing, always studying movements, always, you know, just working on that stuff constantly. And just to see his career, it's unbelievable. I love him like a little brother, and you know, it's surreal that he's got one fight left. Like it's just, I remember like it was yesterday when he started. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lawler, what a legend. I mean, I remember being in the nosebleeds, watching him fight in the early days of UFC, and I was, you know, kind of late to the sport. I graduated college first, and you know, watching him go all the way through his career and now continue to fight and be relevant, be dangerous, and be scary. It just says a lot about him as an individual, and I can't wait to watch him fight tomorrow. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. He's one of the toughest guys out there. Old school, go out there and leave everything he got in an octagon. It's amazing to see him fight again, and last time too, because you know I love Robbie Lawler, man. He been in some brawls.
Yeah, man, I can't say much about. Yeah, enough about how much watching him fight, man. He can take a beating, give a beating, keep coming. You think they got him, and just keeps coming back. So he's a tough guy, fun to watch, always exciting.
Yeah, Robbie's the definition of what it is to be just a fighter. You know, he's not necessarily the trash talker or this and that, but you know what you're gonna get from Robbie Lawler every time he steps into that octagon. And I think the UFC and the world of MMA is gonna miss him very much.
It's very true.
And if I could also get a prediction of how you guys think the main event is going to go down between Alex and Yair.
I have no prediction. I think that's a wild fight right there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that also. Volkanovski, I mean, he's just built for combat, built for being a grinder. And Yair, I watched a highlight the other day of all the tricks he does. I mean, talk about a magician in there. That guy is an artist, like a real artist. And at any point, he could catch somebody slipping on the button. So it's a coin toss for me. If I go with gut instincts, I think, you know, Volkanovski may grind it out. But if it's a finish, I think it's Yair.
A strong contingent from Mexico in the building today.
Last question, please, for Glover. GSP announced that he's making his return. He's going to be competing at the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. Of course, you recently fought there too. Just wanted your thoughts on how you think he will do and who you would like to see him up against.
Yeah, I love the event. By the way, it was I love the rules. You know, it's gonna make more excited and see GSP back. It's gonna be amazing. I was just talking with the guy back over there, and I'd love to see him against Gilbert Durinho. That'll be a nice match to come back, you know. Gilbert Durinho.
All right, let's go down to this microphone.
Hi, question for Chuck. It's the 30th anniversary for UFC. You've been around this organization since its inception. How has MMA changed as a business for the better for you, and what do you think it needs to go back to?
You know, well, I would say change for the better. I mean, it just got more exposure. We got more events, more chance to fight, more people involved. You know, sport's been growing. You know, it started out with fighting again. You know, fighting again for, you know, I think it's the first time fight. Home run was making $50,000 a fight. Top guys were making that. I mean, it wasn't much. I maybe a little more, but my first UFC contract I was offered 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. We're talking $12,000 a year if I win all 3 fights. I turned it down. Dana was my manager at the time, turned it down, but anyway, yeah, no, it's come a long way as far as opportunities for people, training, way guys train, sports, and it goes up and down wings. And I think right now it's great. I mean, I think the guys were playing that too safe for a while, but I think guys like it started. I mean, they stopped doing that after a while. It seems like most guys are out there fighting, trying to win. So it's been exciting, and you know, I think it's in a great place right now.
Final question, actually, for Jens and Urijah. You fought really hard to keep the lighter divisions active in UFC. Looking back and where the division is now, was it worth it for you?
Absolutely, and going back to nostalgia, I remember being at the Mandalay Bay and seeing this guy getting mobbed for a big UFC event. It was actually Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz, and I was staying in Randy Couture's room. I didn't really know him, but he was nice and kind enough to, you know, just open his door to myself and a couple friends. I remember watching Jens, and I remember seeing Chuck and Tito, and just to look back on the whole thing and know that we all had a part in it is really awesome. And it wasn't a thoughtful process. It was about just following our passions and believing in the sport. Thank goodness for great leadership with the company to bring where it is today. So yeah, it was definitely worth it for me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was creating the 155-pound division. You know, that's kind of where I got in the Hall of Fame. I'm the godfather. I had to go out there and fight at 170. I had to fight heavy. I had no weight class there for a while, no time limit. But I love it. I love seeing that, just the way that the 155-pound division to me that's the one. You know, I love it. The size of it, the way that it's going, 145, 135, 125. I remember fighting, and the one thought in my mind was, I never wanted to see anybody to say they were too small to be a fighter. And that was something I set out to do, like, you're gonna have to gain weight, you're gonna have to fight at 170. I said, no, I'll just keep blasting people and we'll create 155 pounds. And once we did that, when we got to WEC and 45 and 35 and 25, it's like, okay, now I can drop down to my original weight. And that's when me and Urijah met, you know what I mean, and had the big clash the first time. And, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud to see this sport grow, but I love the little guys because it's just, that's where we're from. So, like I said, I'm a big fan, 155, love being the godfather, and it's glad that we created.
Should both be very proud for those roles. Mike?
For Glover, you mentioned a little bit about your grappling match recently. Just wondering if you have more plans for that lined up, or if that maybe caused a bit of an itch to return to more competition. What do you have plans for the future?
Man, I'm just having fun, you know. I'm just here. They call me to go grapple, I grapple anybody, you know. They pay you right, I go over there and I grapple John Jones, Urijah, Faber, whoever, you know. It's just fun over there, you know. I don't have that. I'm enjoying this time, you know. I love it.
And then for Kamaru, Gilbert Burns said at a recent media day that you were back training with him a bit at Kill Cliff. Just wondering kind of what your status is right now. Are you back at that gym more full-time now? Are you still splitting time in Colorado? What's going on?
Everybody want to yell that. No, it's never been. I mean, it's called Kill Cliff now. Before that, it was called Sanford. Before that, it was called HK3. At the end of the day, it's Henry Hoof. And I've always trained with Henry Hoof. Henry Hoof has been my first stand-up coach ever. You know, me and him have always been on great terms. I still train with Trevor Whitman. Trevor is a mastermind. And it's kind of like having the best of both worlds. Obviously, my daughter lives in Florida, and I have a house in Florida, which I spend most of my time. But, you know, when I start to kind of button things down, it's always a good change to be able to just have that private time up there with Trevor Whitman. So I have the best of both worlds. I got two masterminds in my corner.
And if this fight with Hamza doesn't materialize, is there any other attractive matchups out there for you right now that you think make sense?
I'm sure they'll think of something. I mean, hey, it's a fight. Me getting in there to fight, I mean, it'll make sense. Me stepping in there if Conor wants to, he always said he wanted to fight me at 170. Hey, that makes sense. You know, I'm not the champ anymore, so hey, let's do it.
All right, let's go up here.
This one's for Chuck Liddell and Jens Pulver. And by the way, congratulations, Jens Pulver, on finally getting your long overdue addition to the Hall of Fame. So my question for Chuck Liddell and Jens Pulver, the introduction to the UFC to Las Vegas and the reintroduction to the UFC to pay-per-view happened. Both of you guys fought on this card, UFC 33 victory in Vegas. 22 years later, did you even fathom that the sport would be the biggest sport it is today, and that you guys set the stones and the building blocks to build the sport to what it is today?
Well, I always thought it would get here, but I thought it'd take a lot longer. I mean, I think the explosion from having the reality show really on the fighter, really, we blew up a lot faster. I mean, we went from me being able to walk into a room and go, yeah, that guy probably knows who I am, and that guy, to me walking down a mall and 56-year-old lady going, hey, you could fight last night. You know, so, I mean, it made it overnight almost. From when the Ultimate Fighter started showing air, and all of a sudden people asked, it was just like within, May, the first fight, April, May, something, when I won the title after winning the show. Other than that, I couldn't go anywhere without people knowing who I was. So, yeah, it just exploded after that fight. But I always thought again, it's the best sport in the world. So I always thought I'd get here. It got there a little faster than we thought it would.
I knew that this sport was going to blow up. That's why as soon as I graduated college, I made a promise to my mom, graduate college, as soon as I did, I was going to start fighting. It was only legal in 3 states, blacked out, you know what I mean, kept alive on the internet with the underground forum, literally, you know what I'm saying? And then you knew it was going to explode, but when Zuffa, when they came in and they bought it, I knew this was going to explode. I knew it was going to get big. And then, like Chuck said, I didn't know that it would go this fast, but it was inevitable. This is the greatest sport on the planet. How could you not love it? And the UFC's a savage. I mean, it's beautiful. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I love this place. I love what they've done. But I knew once they bought this UFC and they got in Vegas, I was like, it's inevitable. So it was crazy the first time we got to go here and fight. I was like, man, you're just waiting from being in Louisiana and some of the places we had to fight old school, you know what I mean? And it was like just a reunion. And everybody getting to hang out, the same fighters kind of doing their thing. And then, like I said, once we started getting in the Ultimate Fighter, the way that it took off, you just knew that this sport was going to explode. You knew the UFC was going to be massive. And that's why I wouldn't say I gave up everything, but I gave up everything because I knew that this is what I wanted to be and what I want to be a part of for the rest of my life.
Awesome, and one more for Jens Pulver. Your entire career is a Rolodex of classic matches and fights. My favorite fight of yours is you versus Carlo Uno, but if you were gonna show a casual fan one of your fights to introduce him to the sport, what fight would it be?
You know, if it was, man, the one thing is, I would show, There's a few I would say, but obviously Uno because winning the belt, that's a big one. Alfie Alcaraz because that was the first time we were actually going to pay-per-view in UFC history, and it might have been we were pioneering another one, so that was big.
Let's go back here.
All right, question for Urijah Faber. You've achieved incredible success as a fighter, now as a coach. What would you say are your proudest accomplishments as a fighter and then as a coach?
I feel like, I get a lot of credit for, being one of the pioneers of the lighter weight divisions, but guys like Jens, Kid Yamamoto, rest in peace, he was a guy that I would always hold on a pedestal, was really a big name back then. Being someone that was able to represent my own city was really cool, because as a kid you grow up being proud of your city and you don't really know why. It's just kind of a human instinct, territorial thing. But when it turned around and the city was so proud of me, that was a really cool accomplishment. And as a coach, I think just and I've got a great staff and a great environment, a great culture that has been the key to bring on the next wave of talent. And so being able to create that culture that is tough, you're doing a bunch of whack job fighters, man. We're not normal people. So, creating a team environment is something I'm very proud of because it's difficult. And as you've seen, the drama's great throughout the years. It's easy to rock a boat. Keeping that boat going straight is something I'm proud of because it's a pat on the back to the people that believe in our sport and are doing things for the right reason, which is just following their passion.
All right, let's get some fan questions in. You have been waiting so patiently, so I'm going to start on this side.
This is for Kamaru. If you don't get Hamza, are you going to fight Colby or Del Reno?
We like Colby.
Yeah.
I think you guys would like to see Colby too.
One more.
Gilbert's my dog, so I would fight Gilbert for the title, but if it's not for the title, I don't see why.
One more. Congrats on Jens Pulver.
Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Let's go over here to this side.
So this is for any of the fighters who are willing to answer this. So you always see when fighters walk out, you see they're going to go to the red corner or blue corner. Is there a mentality difference between being in each corner?
No. If you come to bang, you come to bang.
All right, that's fair.
I don't ever remember which corner I was in.
I'm not too sure. I don't even know that.
That's fair.
I appreciate the creativity of that question and the honesty up here. Let's go back over here.
Okay, so first of all, huge fan, guys. Thank you for all of you've done for the sport. Megan, you're beautiful. I have a question. I have a question for Chuck.
Thank you.
I know you have accomplished glory in MMA, but if you have the chance to give the younger Chuck an advice, what would it be?
What I would say is go out, find a good gym, and enjoy it. Go find the place where you look. Like I tell people, parents to look at the gym and see how good they are. I mean, get some recommendations. We get people to teach kids and make sure they're having fun. Because if you don't like it, if you don't enjoy it, you're never going to get good. You got to learn to love it. I mean, if you don't love this sport, not out there love. It's a tough sport to be in.
Thank you. And one for Glover. What would it mean for you to be a fighter?
I don't know. It's a dream, I dreamed to be a professional athlete when I was a kid, and I was not very good in all the sports, so fighting was the only thing that become good. This guy helped me a lot, he was there in my first fight. I was against his team, but I got beat up so bad, and but a guy that he thought was gonna, knock me out in the first round, and he come to the locker room after and say, hey, come train with us, and you already got the tools, you already got the heart and determination, we teach you some stuff. And here I am, former champion. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And last but not least, ¡Viva Mexico!
Let's go down here.
All right, this question is for Kamaru, right over here. Kamaru, a lot of times throughout fighters' careers, they believe that they're the champion before they actually have the physical belt. You're in a unique spot because you're not the champion, you don't have the belt, but mentally, how do you kind of make that switch from being a champion and now kind of back on the hunt again?
That's a great question. I think, like I've said, it's different when you don't feel that you're the best in the division and you have work to do to get there. For me, I think the position where I was in is getting back to my routine because I still feel that way. I still feel and I know that I'm the best in the division. So it's one of those things that, you know, you need a little bit of luck. And for me, luck is when preparation meets the opportunity. So when that opportunity comes knocking, if I'm prepared enough, I'll be where I need to be.
And for Jens and Urijah as well, being that you guys are pioneers of the lighter weight classes, yesterday Jose Aldo is inducted to the Hall of Fame. Tell me, you know, you can't speak about featherweight, even bantamweight, any of these lighter weight classes without mentioning his name. Tell me what, you know, Jose Aldo means to you, you two.
Man, I have a lot of respect for Jose. Whenever I've had interaction with him, he's a true professional, and it takes me back to, talk about staying humble. This is a sport that keeps you humble, and he stayed really humble. I think he went 12 years undefeated before he was dethroned, and so, you know, he comes from very humble beginnings, and he's a true champion, and I can still remember what it was like to have my leg disfigured, and so I'll always remember that.
I can remember it too. It looked painful.
Yeah, if you
hurt me.
If anybody that's new, just put Urijah's leg, and you'll see it's pretty much a dead body. The biggest my leg's ever been, actually. They got little skinny legs, but he's awesome, man. I love him.
Yeah, and I mean, he was so much fun. He was devastating. Because of that, those leg kicks, you just knew. That double knee tap he did, you know, in one fight. I still remember, I think it was in Sacramento when he and I were fighting, and they had asked, we did a big, we were doing the conversation, and we would ask questions, and they go, what about you, you know, your career? And I'm like, well, hopefully I'll be done and retired before that kid. I remember pointing right at him, I go, that guy gets up here. I didn't think he'd get up there so fast, but I was like, that guy right there, because he's going to be a devastator. And he knew it. He's just athletic, and those kicks were surreal. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch him fight. He was so explosive. He was amazing.
And my last one for Glover. Right next to you, Urijah transitioned from fighting to coaching, and he's done a great job. You have as well. Tell me, how much are you enjoying being a coach and not having to actually fight as much as you were?
Yeah, I'm getting used to it, man. You know, in the beginning it's tough, you know. Fighting is a different adrenaline, you know. In a fight, you just get ready to pump up to go over there and fight. But being in a corner is like... It's a little tough, you know, but I'm getting there, getting used to it, I'm enjoying more, and getting better and better, you know, just the beginning. Thank you.
All right, we only have a few minutes, so please keep it to one question apiece. Go ahead.
My question's for Usman. Kamaru, I couldn't help but notice in the last fight against Leon, it seemed like something was a little off. The striking wasn't as sharp as usual. What felt different in there when you were facing him for the last time?
Yeah, you're right. It was just, I think I might have rushed it. Slowly just starting to get my feet underneath me, and I just felt like I needed to rush it because it was just that opportunity. I always wanted to go to London. I always wanted to fight there and headline a card there. So it was just like, I probably could have taken a little bit more time to get back in prime form. But, you know, that's the way things go. You know, you live and you learn. And like I said, you know, now I'm just loving preparing myself. And so when that preparation meets the opportunity again, I'll show why I feel I'm the best in the division.
Looking forward to seeing you fight again, and congratulations to all the guys up there.
Let's go over here. Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, this question's for Faber. When is our 209 champ coming up, and who is it?
Say one more time.
Who will be our next champ out of 209?
Out of the 209, out of the greater Northern California area?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, we got a lot coming now. So I think right now at our gym we have Song Yadong, Macy Barber, and Yan Zanan all knocking on the door. So those are people that I think are on the cusp. But I've got a whole bunch of up-and-comers you haven't heard of that will be there soon. So check out A1 Combat and keep your eye out, baby. That's right. I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Thanks, buddy.
The 916, the 209's cousin.
That's right.
Yes.
We got 916, 530, 209. That's all the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go over here.
Me? Hey, this is for the...
Whoa, Chris Curtis. All right.
What's up, guys?
All right, we're jumping in.
Hey!
All right. We'll get to you, don't worry.
I've got a question for the legends, Jen Pulver. I don't think everyone here quite knows just how legendary your career's been, but I'm going to test your brain for a second. June 27, 2009, I had my pro debut. In that fight, I lost a decision that I very clearly won, and it was heartbreaking to me. It was bad, guys. It was heartbreaking to me, though. And the first guy in that cage was Jens Pulver, and he said, hey, man, this is going to happen. Don't stop. Keep going. That was in 2009, and those were the words that I heard from you. The first words I heard after I lost my debut. And I grew up following Militich, following Robbie Lawler was my guy, but out of that gym, the other legend in my eyes was Jen Pulver. So my question to you is, do you understand how much of a legend you are to us that came up under you, and that we know that we're here now, especially the smaller guys, because we stood on the shoulders of giants. So thank you.
Number one, you're gonna make me cry. I love and appreciate you. You're gonna make me cry. You know, the reality is no, I didn't. For a long time, I didn't. I didn't think anything. I didn't think I was worth much. I didn't feel like I had value. And I'm gonna make this plug because it means the world to me, but running the UFC Twitch page now has given me value and worth because you all come in that do come in, and if you don't, join. But in the chat, you give me your time. The greatest gift on the planet. Money can't buy it. We always wish we had more time. And the fact that you're in here and giving us your time is the greatest thing in the world. And it started making me whole again. Being able to sit there and talk with everybody, I started to rebuild myself, and I felt good. And that's why I love when people say it's about time that you got into UFC, but the reality is, and I thank you all so much for keeping my name out there and and keeping it relevant, but it was today, this is the perfect time. Because I finally have learned that what I've done, and I can accept it because I love my life. I love where I'm at in life. And like I said, it's just been a blast. But hearing things like that, yeah, man, it's amazing. And I love y'all. And
Thank you, Jens Pulver.
It means the world.
Thanks, Chris. All right, I think we have time for one or two more, and I definitely want to get to you, so go ahead.
Okay. First of all, shout out to the 6 GOATs on the dais. Thank you so much for being here. All of you guys are GOATs in your respective field. So my question is, we're celebrating 30 years of UFC, which in a lot of ways is 30 years of MMA in America. A lot of landmark events that occurred, UFC 1, Aldo versus Faber, Chuck versus Tito, UFC 205 in New York. For any or all of the panel, is there a specific landmark event in your mind that you think of, this is the staying power of MMA? This event shows that MMA is forever and will be here forever. Thank you all.
For me, the one that stands out, and I mean, it was relevant when I first started, was the Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture era. I mean, both guys college wrestlers, both guys that were nasty strikers and really mixed it well together, and some star power. You know, had Chuck, the silent killer, and Randy was a gentleman. It was a nice contrast between two classy guys with different looks, and you got to see how the UFC embraced that. I mean, Chuck had mohawk and hair just in the middle, and Randy had a cul-de-sac with no hair in the middle. What a great combination. And I always looked up to both those guys.
I love it. All right, let's go to our final question. No pressure, but make it a good one.
All right, question for Kamaru. Having shared the octagon multiple times with both Leon and Colby, who do you think gets the edge in that match?
That's a tough one. I would have to say, Dang, it's a good position to be. Now, it's different mentally thinking about it because when I fight, I'm more a so mental fighter as opposed to just the physical attributes. Because some guys are just sharper and nicer strikers, and some guys are more of a grinder like Colby. So playing by their hearts, I think if Colby is able to come in and compete the way that he approached competing with me, it's going to be very difficult to beat him. I think he's very talented, but Leon is a dangerous striker, so you never know.
Thank you all for your questions. Thank you to this incredible panel of legends. And thank you to all the fans who continue to support this sport. We couldn't be anywhere without you. You let them perform. You let us do our jobs. You let weeks like this happen. It is the 30th anniversary of the UFC, and we would be nowhere without fans like you and legends like this. Give it up one more time. Jens Pulver, Urijah Faber, Glover Teixeira, Chuck Liddell, and Kamaru Usman. UFC 290 weigh-ins will kick off in just a few minutes.
That's it.
Rodriguez! Wow! The interim UFC featherweight champion.
Yair Rodriguez is a real threat.
But I'm the best, no matter who's in front of me.
Alexander, the great Volkanovski, ladies and gentlemen. He is as skilled in all phases as any fighter in the game. The consensus best featherweight of all time.
I'm on another level right now. I can't be stopped.
Yair Rodriguez!
Yair Rodriguez is a video game.
We have not seen anything like him. He's one of one.
The speed and the technique. Yair Rodriguez is special.
Viva Mexico! No doubt the people of Mexico going crazy right now. Brandon Moreno!
Look at the passion this guy has for fighting.
The first Mexican-born UFC champion.
He's so tough, and he's just got that warrior's mentality.
Let's go! Olivi Pantoja!
He has a history of victory against Brandon Moreno.
And he is a guy that can put anyone out. I come to finish Moreno Moreno. Come the next level,
This is it. This is as good as it gets in the sport.
He wants to cement his legacy and become the champion again.
I'm gonna go to war.
He's off to a perfect start in the UFC.
I'm going to be the first South African UFC champion.
2 undisputed UFC titles on the line.
This is International Fight Week, and this card is absolutely amazing.
UFC fans, we'd like to welcome you to the ceremonial weigh-in for UFC 290. Volkanovski versus Rodriguez. Tomorrow night, we put a capstone on International Fight Week 2023 with a fight card for the ages. In the main event, featherweight kingpin and proud Aussie Alexander Volkanovski chases further greatness as he welcomes the challenge of interim champion Mexico's Yair Rodriguez. Plus in the co-headliner championship stakes as well, as Brandon Moreno puts his flyweight belt on the line against Brazilian challenger Alexandre Pantoja. And that's not all, we've also got a featured bout at middleweight as the legend Robert Whittaker tries to derail the oncoming Dracus du Plessis. We would like to thank our UFC sponsors, Prime Hydration, the official sports drink of UFC, and Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit. We would also like to send a special welcome to our UFC Fight Club members joining us today here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We hope to see all of you once again for the live action at T-Mobile tomorrow night. And now for the call of the weigh-in for UFC 290. Here is Joe Rogan.
What's happening, Vegas? Welcome to the weigh-in. How about a nice round of applause for Brooklyn, Brittany, Vanessa, Dana White. Without him, none of this would be possible. Hunter Campbell, Mick Maynard, and Sean Shelby, matchmakers extraordinaire. And we got a banging card for you. We kick things off to the UFC Fight Pass and ESPN Plus prelims in the lightweight division. Kamaru Kirk versus Esteban Ribovics. Official weight 155.5. First fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Kamaru Kirk and Esteban Ribovics. The next fight takes place in the flyweight division. Shannon Ross versus The next fight takes place in the bantamweight division. Cameron Simon versus Terrence Mitchell. First up on the scale, Terrence Mitchell, official weight 135. And his opponent, Cameron Simon. Official weight 135. Terrence Mitchell and Cameron Simon, ladies and gentlemen. The next bout is the feature bout in the light heavyweight division. Victor Petrino versus Marcin Petrino. First up on the scale, Marcin Petrino, official weight 206. And his opponent, Victor Petrino. Official weight 206. Victor Petrino and Marcin Petrino, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we move to the ESPN prelims. We kick things off in the light heavyweight division. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menafield. First up on the scale for the ABC prelim, Alonzo Menafield, official weight 205.5. And his opponent, Jimmy Crute. Official weight 205 for Mr. Crute. Alonzo Menafield and Jimmy Crute, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place in the strawweight division. Jasmine Jauregui versus Denise Gomez. Easy Gomes, official weight 115.5. And her opponent, Jasmine Howergy. Official weight 115.5. Jasmine Howergy versus Denise Gomes. The next fight is a catch weight at 130 pounds. Teixeira versus Edgar Chairez. First up on the scale, Edgar Chairez, official weight 129. And his opponent, Tatsuro Taira. Official weight 130. Edgar Chairez and Tatsuro Taira, ladies and gentlemen. The next bout is the feature bout of the ABC prelims in the welterweight division. Ruthless. We move to the main card. Live on pay-per-view, we kick things off in the middleweight division. Bo Nickel versus Val Woodford. First up in the scales, Val Woodford, official weight 185.5. And his opponent, middleweight division, Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. Official weight, 155.5 for Mr. Hooker. And his opponent, Jalen Turner. Official weight, 158. Mr. Turner has missed weight. Dan Hooker and Jalen Turner, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place in the middleweight division. Robert Whittaker versus Dracus Duplessis. Official weight, 186 from Mr. Duplessis. And his opponent, the former middleweight champion of the world, Robert the Reaper Whittaker. Official weight, 185.5 for the Reaper. That's a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Dracus Duplessis and Robert Whittaker. Now, let's take a closer look at the two men involved. The co-main event of the evening.
Oh! Huge left, and that bothered the eye of Figueiredo.
Moreno hurt him.
This crazy and long history against Davis and Figueiredo is part of my career, it's part of my history, and for sure it's part of the history of the mixed martial arts.
Davis and Figueiredo cannot see out of that right eye. The doctor is going to stop the fight, and he has done it. The rivalry and the undisputed flyweight title goes to Brandon Moreno.
2 years thinking of the same guy, like, he's pretty tired, you know, mentally tired. Don't see more quadrilogies in my future. I'm ready for this new challenge against Alexander Pantoja. I met him before. Beat me twice. I don't want to put more excuses, but it was a kind of hard just go and, hey, your next fight is in 5 days against this guy. You know, it's part of the challenge, and I lost, and I accepted.
The first fight, I make it look easy.
Winner by rear naked choke, Alexandre.
In my second fight to Moreno, completely dominated Moreno.
Oh, Pantoja, clean striking so far. Oh, that hurt him. He is a mess right now. Dominance from start to finish for Pantoja.
I wasn't there, man. After that loss against Pantoja, UFC released me. It was hard, man. It was hard, but that loss gave me a lot of opportunities to evolve. I was just thinking in the future, like, hey, man, you just need to keep going. And they gave me the opportunity again.
This guy just embodies the Mexican fighting spirit. Brandon Moreno, he's all heart.
I was like very focused to improve myself.
Every single fight you see him on, he's better. Oh! Vicious hammer fist. That's it!
To show to the world I can be the best in this sport.
He's under the chin! He's stepping! Oh! Brandon Moreno has done it! He won! You have a champion!
My goal right now is revenge I want to show to the world. I have to show to the world I'm better than him.
Moreno's very good fight, very talented guy. But in everything Moreno's good, I'm better.
Oh, good straight right.
Instead of a right hand from Pantoja.
That's it. That's it.
I'm different fight too.
Pantoja's got it under the neck here.
I'm much better with 5 years or 7 years ago.
Oh, he's down! Pantoja ends it! This guy is a finisher in every single range. Oh, Pantoja got his back. All right, I am here with the challenger, Olivi Pantoja. First of all, congratulations on getting here to this world title fight. I know this is a huge fight for you. Give us your thoughts on what tomorrow means.
Thank you, Las Vegas. Thank you, everybody. Me and my family do a lot of sacrifice for that moment right now. Now just enjoy, make the best fight for everybody. I know this fight's gonna be a war. Thank you, Las Vegas. Let's go.
Good luck to you, sir. Olivi Pantoja, ladies and gentlemen. The champion, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Moreno. Brandon, this is an enormous opportunity for you, not just to defend your belt, but to get back those losses you've had to him. Give us your thoughts on what tomorrow means.
Man, I mean, right now I'm not even thinking in the past. I'm so focused to be on a long and amazing night for us, the Mexicans, for all my people, okay? So, señores, ¡viva Mexico!
Brandon Moreno, ladies and gentlemen. And now, let's take a closer look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening.
You know, a lot of people go through life worrying about what could go wrong. A super fight for the ages between the top two pound-for-pound fighters in the world. What if this happens? What if that happens? You can't go through life like that. That's why I take on these challenges. That's why you see me take on fights that no one else would. The undisputed featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski will try to hit that rarefied air as a double champion. But there's levels to this game, and Makhachev is the highest level that you can ever go up against. If Islam Makhachev can take him down, he defeats him. A lot of people thought I didn't stand a chance. They didn't think I was going to get outside the first round. They thought as soon as he grabs a hold of me, game over. And I showed you that that wasn't the case. Oh! Massive right hand! The biggest moment of the fight! Volkanovski trying to steal the victory! Trying to seal the deal! Become a two-weight division champion! What a fight! I thought I took it. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the judges. Hey, nothing wrong with challenging yourselves. I'm a better fighter because of this. The featherweights, you better watch out, because you challenge yourself like this, it only makes you stronger. I move on and I fight whoever's next. You are the featherweight champion of the world still. Just a moment ago, we saw Yair Rodriguez become the interim champ. Proudly repping Chihuahua, Mexico, here is the number 2 ranked UFC featherweight contender, Yair Rodriguez. Back in 2014, he was 22 years of age when he won season 1 of the Ultimate Fighter Latin America, and a lot of people felt be done. Yair Rodriguez fighting for a piece of the title.
This man is so much fun to watch. I mean, he is dynamic, he's explosive. The type of strikes that he throws, you just don't see them coming, and he is on a mission. He wants to fight Volkanovski, but to do that, he's got to get through Josh Emmett, and that is not an easy task for anybody.
Oh, crushing body kick for Rodriguez.
At the beginning, I thought it was impossible to be here at this point where I'm at right now.
That elbow wobbled Emmett.
But I made a promise to myself a long time ago.
There's the triangle.
I'm gonna become a champion one day.
He's going to pull it down, he's got it locked in.
He taps! That's it! Yair Rodriguez! The interim UFC featherweight champion. What a performance. His next challenge, the featherweight world beater, Alexander Volkanovski.
I was preparing myself to fight the best guy in the world. I know Alexander Volkanovski is really good, but I just think my style is not for everybody. It's hard for anybody to fight me.
One more flurry. Oh, and that is it! What an elbow from Yair Rodriguez!
Yair Rodriguez definitely has my respect. He's a very dangerous fighter, very unpredictable. People are looking at him as a very big threat on the feet, and where he's most dangerous, most people will avoid, but I want to show you that I can systematically break anybody down, even at their own game.
The man is an absolute savage. All he wants to do is to break men, to smash, to ground and pound, to break their will.
People think they know how I fight, but they don't know what it's like to be in there with me until they fight me.
Rodriguez going in for the finish!
I know I'm ready, and I'm gonna win.
Just remember, I'm still the reigning, defending featherweight champion. I'm gonna show you why I'm the best.
And still, baby, I'm here to stay!
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for all the marbles in the featherweight division. Introducing the challenger, the interim champ, Yair Rodriguez. Official weight 145 for El Pantera. And his opponent, the reigning, defending, undisputed featherweight champion of the world, Alexander Volkanovski. Official weight 144.5 for the champ. All right, I'm here with the challenger, Yair Rodriguez. Yair, this is a long time coming and an absolute huge fight for you. Give us your thoughts on what's going to go down tomorrow night.
Antes que nada, ¿cómo está mi gente mexicana? Muchas gracias por venir aquí. ¡Ja! ¡Qué barbaridad! Jamás me imaginé ver una arena tan repleta de gente que viene a apoyarnos nada más aquí a nosotros los mexicanos. Estamos haciendo crecer el deporte exponencialmente en todo México, no solamente en México, en todo el mundo. Estamos cambiando la historia de muchas vidas, no solo del deporte. Eso es gracias a ustedes también, gracias por todo el apoyo. Yo no tengo que decir nada acerca de mi oponente, él es un gran rival. Pero lo que sí tengo que decir es gracias de todo corazón a todos ustedes. ¡Y viva México, cabrones!
Give us a little bit in English.
Okay. I was just saying thank you to all my Mexican fans to come here. And we are building the sport together, not only the sport, but we're changing lives together. And I don't have anything to say about my opponent. Everybody knows he's fucking great, and we're gonna do a fucking great job tomorrow night, and just wait for that. And thank you, brother. Fucking.
Good luck to you, sir. Yair Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with the champ, Alexander. This is a huge fight for you. Obviously, coming off of this, the attempt to become double champ. Now you have an opportunity to defend your featherweight title.